Aries 1, a woman rises out of the water, a seal rises and embraces her. This is the very beginning, Aries 1. And we have here the seal coming out of the unconscious. The sea is always the unconscious. And the image of the seal, of course, is very phallic. And the woman rises to meet the seal. And you have this sort of image of a female principle and a male principle uniting, having come out of the realms of the unconscious. So this is the beginning of polarity, the beginning of sex itself. And whereas the seed is not germinated when it's resident within the unconscious realms, as it arises and unifies with its opposite principle, that's germination, that's the beginning of life. So we're talking about beginnings here. We're talking about turning an idea, the seed of everything, because the mind creates everything. And when you have an idea, that's the seed of something new, something real, potentially. But most of those ideas come to nothing. We just have lots and lots of ideas and we don't do anything about it. And this is because it's not germinated. So to germinate an idea, the seed of an idea, we need to marry it up with its opposite principle. And so we have to somehow express ourselves clearly to somebody who actually can embody that and realize the other side of an idea, how it would be in reality. This is what we try to do when we're actually moving forward from the realms of the potential into the realms of the actual. We try to marry up our seed ideas with whatever. Now that could be a person, that could be a set of resources, that could be a situation, a scenario, but we have to marry up our seed idea with something that can actually form it into a unification, a unified energy field, a germinated seed. Because unless we germinate our seeds, unless we make our ideas real in the world, then they're just lost, wasted in fact. Now the qualities that bring about the possibility of germinating the seed of our ideas, there's a very definite formula. First of all, we have to balance the positive with the negative, the male and the female within ourselves, in order that we can find somebody else to play with. And that balance occurs in the heart. The heart is the organ of balance. And love is an attempt to rebalance unbalanced energies, so we feel that in the heart. But it's a higher principle than just love. It can reach harmony and it can reach beauty, heart. And these are higher principles than love. Love is very rarely not independent of the object of your love. The unconditional love is, if it's not a fantasy, it's extraordinarily rare. So love is fulfilling the need of the heart to have that feeling, whereas harmony is fulfilling two needs at the same time, and beauty is beyond all of that. It's a sense of spiritual attainment. And when we're trying to turn our ideas into something of that nature, loving and expressive of love, harmonious and expressive of harmony, beautiful and expressive of our principles within of beauty, when we're looking for that with the heart, then we attract it, we tend to find it. And if our ideas are not in support of love and harmony and beauty, then what are they? Perhaps we want to create something. Would we not want to create something harmonious and beautiful? Perhaps we're trying to deal with a problem, overcome somebody's objections, overcome somebody's resistance to what needs to be done. Fine, but would we not want to do that to create harmony and beauty? So we see that the seed of our ideas reaches its potency when it marries up with the needs of a situation towards love, harmony and beauty. And it takes will. We have to concentrate the will. Now the will is not really an assertive principle. It's a desire. Will and desire are pretty much the same thing. So we have to really desire the object of our attention. If an idea comes into our head and we don't desire this to be the case, it's futile. It doesn't have any impact. But when we have this idea that comes to us and we think, oh yeah, I really, really want that, then there's an energy behind it that's dynamic and attractive. So we have to focus the will, focus our desire on the idea. And we also have to take action. We have to move on it. If we don't move on our own ideas, well, nobody else will. Yeah, so it's a very definite formula, how to turn a seed into a germinated plan of action, almost like a motivation that will create an event in your life, in the world. And that is to make sure it's balanced in the heart, it's loving and right and it's good, and that you desire it. And you're willing to stay with it. You're willing to focus your attention on making it come to pass through some action. This is the formula for getting things done and for turning something from a potential into an actual. Now, the final force that really binds this formula into reality is hope, or better still, faith. This is in distinction to expectation of failure. Because disappointment and failure are so commonplace in so many lives, and all around us we look and people are disappointed with their circumstances, they don't like their jobs and their situations and so on. Somehow hope and faith have not really much sway. They don't really get a lot of attention, and yet they are powerful energies. We have to think about them as energies. In other words, when we have hope, when we have faith, that polarizes the energy field around us. It turns it into something it was not before. The power of the mind to shape energy into a particular quality is what we're discussing here. And the quality that actually motivates things towards realization, more than anything else, is faith. Now, of course, we have to plant our faith into a seed of an idea. True. And these ideas just pop up in our heads willy-nilly all of the time. Ideas are not only, 10 a penny. They're 100,000 to a penny. Ideas come and go all of the time. But to grasp one and to actually turn it into something requires this formula that we're discussing, backed up by faith. And when you have faith that your idea is loving and good and beautiful, and you're willing to desire it and keep your eyes on it, to focus your attention on making it so, then that's how to live. It does seem quite simple, almost so simple it's hardly worth teaching, but look around you. How many people actually operate this? They might understand it, but how many people actually operate this principle? You have to love your ideas. You have to stay with them until they're real, and have to have faith that it works. And let's say you're in a bad relationship or a bad job, or you're poor or something, and you just want that to change, then have the idea that you can. Imagine a life where actually it's better and you got what you want. Hold on to that, desire it, marry it up with the vision of somebody else, and have faith that it will occur. That's how it works. Have faith and be imaginative. Visualize a future and expect it to come to pass.